Last week, Amy was invited to a night out with her work colleagues. She chose not to go because some of the things that they were planning she didn't feel comfortable doing as a Christian. They were obviously talking about that and the fact that she was a Christian while they were out. And so at work later, the conversation came up. And one of them said it makes sense that Amy is a Christian because she doesn't get involved in gossip, or she doesn't swear, or she doesn't speak badly of others or of customers who are being difficult. For them, they had already noticed something about her lifestyle that made sense when they knew that she was a Christian. Of course, as a dad, I'm proud of that. But actually it brings me a challenge, because do people notice things about my lifestyle that would do the same? Do people notice things about me that would suggest that I'm a Christian? As we've been looking at Daniel, we've recognised that he and his friends followed a similar path. They managed to maintain their faith in spite of living in a culture which really challenged it. And we've seen the challenge of the culture that they lived into their identity, to their worship, and also that it was a distraction from what they should be doing. But I really want to focus today on the fact that not only were they having to resist culture, but actually they were also able to have an influence on culture by who they were. They were able to change the culture that they lived in despite not being affected by the culture trying to change them. Daniel didn't only resist the challenge culture, but he had influence on his to change it. For me, a fundamental belief as a Christian is that I am here to bring hope to my community. I am here to bring something better than is to our community, to bring positive change. And so we asked the other week, how did Daniel do that? And of course, he did that by first distinguishing himself. Daniel 6, verse 1 to 5, which we read earlier, says, because of Daniel's great ability, the king made plans to place him over the entire empire. He's got great ability, we know that. But then it says, in that same passage, he was faithful, always responsible, and completely trustworthy. What a testimony that is. People trusted him. I think that's a key here. Oh, that could be said of us. People would trust us because of our faithfulness, because we're responsible. And we see also that when Daniel speaks of others, he does so with respect, and he doesn't condemn or complain about what they are doing. Paul says in his letter to the Colossians, we need to speak with grace, seasoned with salt. Colossians 4, verse 5. Speaking graciously, but with a truth to bring flavour. Often Christians can overload salt so that what they say becomes unpalatable. There are two dangers for us as Christians. One is that we become so gracious that we never speak any truth. The other is that we speak so much truth that it becomes unpalatable to those who hear us. And we somehow need to maintain a balance between the two. So today in your groups, I really want you to just discuss, how can we do that? How can we keep the balance between graciousness and telling the truth, saying the truth, declaring God's word, and so that people can see both grace and truth in our lives. So 3 questions I want you to have a look at. The first is this: what type of lifestyle characteristic do we see in Jesus that exhibit both grace and truth? The second, how can we develop the fruit of the Spirit in our lives? And finally, are there any thorny issues that you're afraid to discuss as Christians? And is there any advice for each other on how to approach those questions with both grace and truth? Thanks for listening. See you again.